the investigation has been going for like weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And finally, my friend, he's always fully dressed in green and shit like that. And he looks at me and he's like, he musters up the courage to say it. He's been knowing for a while, but some of the parts didn't add up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "It was you in the study with the lead pipe."
Mm.
And it was.
And it was you.
It was Mrs. Peacock in the study with the lead pipe.
So you going to prison or what's the lore?
Let's record this and then we'll.
Okay, then we'll discuss. So, you know how they say that thing?
Salma, tell me.
Well,
I'm waiting. I'm
well,
waiting.
let
Salma,
me
tell
tell you.
me.
Let me tell
Salma,
you.
tell me.
Let me tell you.
Salma, shut the fuck up and tell me.
Let me So, when you walk, fashion baby, all that,
And you're
jazz,
Italian.
and you're Italian and
Do
you're
you have to
walking.
be Italian?
Well, preferred. It's preferred that you are.
But
But if you're not,
okay, I
like,
feel like you'll mention mothers, and I feel like if you're Italian, you're probably already mother.
yes. So when you step on a crack, you break your mom's back, apparently.
Oh, and because I'm walking and I'm Italian and I'm
Mhm.
walking, I don't want to break my own back.
Yeah.
But I also talk about things that are so mother
Hmm.
that I skip those cracks.
Absolutely.
How you been? How you been? Did you have anything interesting happen this week? This is how every podcast now will start. Of like, did you have anything interesting? And then you go like, no, and I go,
Okay,
okay,
so
so let me tell you all about.
I saw a squirrel.
Yes, you did.
I
Tell me
did.
about
It
that.
was a beautiful squirrel. It
Tell me
was
about that.
so tiny, and I think
What's your favorite thing about squirrels?
my favorite thing about squirrels is how they climb up the trees and
My
they're
favorite thing about squirrels is how they move.
yeah,
They're on the floor and they do like a little bridge. Like
yeah.
when they jump, like
Just
they
go like
do
doop,
a
doop.
perfect little like
Yeah,
upside down, like a rainbow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this one was so tiny, and I think it was a baby squirrel, and she just ran out because you don't really see squirrels like that. Like
You don't
like you
see a really
have to
squirrel
be
squirrel anywhere a lot.
yeah. But she ran across the street, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're the tiniest little angel in the world. I love you." So
One time my
there you
parents
go.
like so one time me and my mom were walking somewhere and we saw two squirrels chase each other.
Hmm.
Right? That was great.
That's fun.
One time my parents were eating at a restaurant that we now boycott because they're homophobic and talk shit about your ex's dad.
Yeah.
Um, but they saw a bird
Uh huh.
take a bone
Mhm.
and fly into the sky
Mm.
and then drop it and then do like a circle to catch it, like
Wow.
continuously,
Yeah.
like being like I'm playing, I'm having a
Brilliant.
game here. Do you know how they crack nuts?
How
They take a nut, fly up, drop it.
they drop it? Yeah. And I think that's just so smart.
I know
Like
birds
I
are. I feel like they
like I
are.
would never think of that.
Birds are those weird animals that have both like intelligence and emotional
Yeah.
intelligence because they don't like they're one of the rare birds that don't rape.
Yeah. Well, speaking of birds, I saw a cat carry a dead pigeon to eat it. And today I saw a dead cat. So it hasn't been a great week.
It's not been a
It's
great
not
week.
been it's not been a great week.
It's it's not been a great
Mm-mm.
week. For me, it's been like just nothing really much happened. I have had like yesterday and today, um, family friends came over. Family friend TM's mother came. So like I was just like, please mention him, 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 please mention. He's my favorite topic. He's my favorite topic. He's my favorite topic. He's my favorite topic. He is. I cannot stop not talking about that man. I'm sad that I blocked him because I want to keep talking about this. And then she didn't because I just wanted to be like, yeah, I blocked him.
Yeah. And what?
And what? She's she's kooky, so like some things are forgiven. But then she goes like, so you sleep over at the song. Why isn't she your girlfriend? And I'm like,
You know what we do? We watch Golden Girls. What does that tell you?
after a day in Bishop
You're like,
Park,
and it's my idea.
after a day of walking around Bishop Park, and whenever somebody tried to carry something, I'm like, no, give it to me. And she'd go like, why? And I go like, big mistake, big,
Huge.
And then you ask me,
Why is she not your girl? Uh,
and it's a thing of like, no, when the whole thing went, like when my parents went on my computer and like my dad told everybody that it's like, people
Yeah.
semi-porn and shit like that. The two of them were told, and one time we had this conversation. She was like, "Did you calm down?"
Did you calm down?
Yeah,
Wow.
and her husband, you know what her husband did?
Hmm.
Just I was like laying in the bed, and he came up to me, and he was like, "So when you get an erection, what do you do?" And I go I don't answer because I'm
Well, yeah.
embarrassed to talk about it.
Also,
And then he starts showing me like porn on his phone,
Jesus.
like women,
Yeah.
just
Ew.
yeah. No, that I told you
Girl, what?
he is you know. I
That's
mean,
weird.
she kind of adds up to it too. She like
It's just so weird to me. Like, how old were you?
like 10.
Jesus! I
Yeah.
thought at least 17, like 16, like to be
Oh
like
no,
ten.
not in high school yet. Not in high school yet. And before that, I would
Pornography?
I like to grab women's titties.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
you still do, baby. You still do.
It's just
Last
not
time,
it's just not socially acceptable.
we just laid down and I was so comfortable. He just grabs my boob in a very aggressive way. Like, I'm gonna rip a part of your body out.
What do I tell you? This should be in the middle of the face instead of that. But no, and like since when I made Facebook, they added me on Facebook, and for every birthday, I'd get like a happy birthday with like a striptease model or something.
Jesus.
Because it's so funny. It's
Yeah,
so
so
funny.
funny.
And recently, I asked my mom like, how can you like be okay with that? And she was like, I see him for 3 years, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
I can shut up. Like I can not comment. Like he's not that important to me. And
But
I'm
it's
like,
still like, I was 10.
I was 10. No, because about that, I think they don't know. But it was normal. Like he would come up and whisper to me, like, "Which one do you think has the best tits?" And I want to what like if we ever have the like gay conversation, I want to be like, imagine if I took Benjamin or Aideen when they were like
Yeah.
6 or 7 and went like, "Who do you think has the best cock?
Yeah. It was the biggest dick.
Who do you think has the biggest, sloppiest,
Sloppiest.
most beautiful
Beautiful
dick?"
dick.
Like,
Yeah.
and that the problem is those people they don't go on reason.
Yeah, no, dude.
They'd be like, "That's different."
Yeah.
And I hate it, like, because you will not be able to give me like concrete reasoning.
Yeah.
You'll be like, "That's different. You're teaching my child perversion."
Hmm.
And you're
I mean,
I
no
was a
matter
free the
how.
nipple guy.
Yeah. No, to me, it's not like like you would never show porn to a kid. Period. Like you just shouldn't do that. Like no matter what your intentions
No,
are.
but they're so like,
What?
no, we're just open like that. We're sexually open like that.
Being no. Being sexually open is live your life in a sexually open way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Imagine if I came up to children and
Yeah,
went
like
like,
so
so
here's this
sucking dick and cock.
and you did it at my birthday.
And he did it at my birthday dinner, and then I did him at his birthday dinner. Okay. And then he goes like, "Can I continue building these Legos?" And I go like, "Okay."
Okay.
And then I'd be branded a pedophile,
Yeah,
rightfully so. But
exactly.
they're not
Yeah,
like nobody's going like, "Oh, they're
yeah.
predators."
And that's the thing. It's like it's not a thing of pedophilia. It's for you a thing of like, oh, this will fix it,
Yeah, this
and be
well, that's
like,
just about like before that. Like there was not no talk about homosexuality, but it was just like you have to want to almost rape women.
yeah,
He's the type of person to be like, oh my god, I miss when those old toilets had like the hard cutouts, so I can peek inside.
Jesus,
And everyone's like, that's so charming.
fucked in the head. No, I had a moment like that with so my aunt and my like city
Yeah,
and Arnad when he was like I don't know, let's say 9, 10 or
yeah,
something. And we were like listening to music and I being me, a gay man, played Nicki Minaj. And so it was right around the time Anaconda came out. So I was watching that and like music videos on and I'm like, Anaconda, don't. And then he, being a child, is looking at it being so like, whoa, like what's
yeah,
happening? And then his mom first she goes like, oh, don't watch that, it's too much. I was a kid too, so I didn't like think
yeah,
about what
yeah,
and then a friend, they were there, I don't know who they
yeah,
are, we're like, oh, it's better that he's looking at that rather than like men. And then my aunt goes like, oh yeah, keep looking at it. And I'm like,
Jesus
what
H.
the
And
fuck
that's
is
so
wrong?
normalized here. I have one friend who would all like her grandma would always grab her boobs and go like, "Oh, did they grow? How much did they
It's funny.
grow?"
I know it's not, but it's that's like a very
But
grandma thing to do.
but that's normalized
I
here.
know.
And then I had one friend who was like, and I'm so proud of him for being like, yeah, I got sexually assaulted. He went like, we had this family friend, and I would sit in his lap, and he would grab my dick and be like, "Oh, did anything grow down there?" And then he one
See,
time,
when it's with, I
and
don't
then
know.
he went to his mom, and he was like, "Why didn't you do anything about it?" And she was like, "I was uncomfortable, but that's just the way things are."
Yeah,
And it's so like,
no, it's crazy.
and it's some of like the weirdest part for me about it is like, I for some of them, it's not even suppressed homosexuality.
Yeah, it's
Like that
just
guy could have totally been like non-suppressed, and it would also make sense if he was. But I'm saying like, I'm not being like, oh my god, no, no, gay people can't do mistakes.
yeah.
I'm just saying like, it's weird that
It's so normal here. And
yeah.
there's another like so when I was like 10 or something,
Hmm.
I was outside and it was this there was like right across from us lived these like brother and sister and I would always play with them. And she was like older and then he was I mean they were both older than me like by a lot, but she was
Yeah.
the eldest. And they would like teach me how to ride the bike, whatever. There was a guy who lives across from us
Didn't
and
you say you
he's
taught yourself how to ride the bike? Some- Talk about
she was
let,
like
let's
talk about
talk
your
about
lies.
the inconsistency you give us here on this podcast.
um
I'm listening to our podcast like from the beginning.
yeah.
You know what's the funniest thing to me? That the episode before Knives Out,
Hmm.
before we do Knives Out, we fully in detail talk about
No,
like watching Knives Out the night before and the story of on Knives Out, and then on Knives Out we're like, we never told the story before. So she
listen.
would always ask me if there's like this perfect movie that she's
So she and I no, I was outside playing, whatever, and there was a guy who lives like right across from us, and he's a very creepy dude, very old,
Oh, you
very
told me about it.
pedophile.
Yeah.
But like not even in like a normalized way here type of
Yeah.
like
No,
genuine like
to the point where your dad stepped up.
no, he didn't. But to like
Didn't
my
he eventually like? Didn't somebody approach him eventually?
she did, the girl.
Oh,
Cause she okay, so I was outside
I
playing
I think it's
and
was there another dude like your neighbor just right in front of you?
yeah,
Like
that's him. But I don't know if my dad
I
maybe.
remember a story of somebody approaching somebody being like, "Hey, like
Yeah, like okay, so I was outside and then he would make comments a lot
yeah,
of quite literally when I see her ass, I get hard. I'm 9
yeah,
and he's ancient.
yeah." You know,
And
he's is he alive now?
I think he is, but he moved somewhere or something. I
Okay.
don't know. But anyway, so I'm outside playing. He grabs this like little like a matka thing, but it's not. Like it's just
Yeah,
grass. Like it's
yeah,
very nothing. And I'm just standing there talking like to him because I'm 9 and I'm like, hi neighbor.
yeah,
And he's like holding it, being like, oh, you need to be spanked with this. And then she comes outside, like, and she was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah.
what she's for, you know? And she starts yelling at him, and then he's like, what do you know? Whatever. She goes to my mom, tells her what's happening, and then nothing comes out of it. But then it's like, it's so like, hey, maybe call the police. Hey, maybe get him the fuck away from children. Because it's like,
And then it's a thing of like he goes and does something, and it's like
oh,
we were
yeah,
all, and it's you know what's the worst part? It's not people don't even pretend that they didn't know here. They go like,
yeah,
yeah, he was always weird,
yeah,
and do something.
yeah,
It's I don't know the dangers of stuff. And then no, the thing is, and I can't wait to have my to fight my dad on this. Like you went through my Facebook and you saw me talk about gay porn,
yeah,
and you told my mom that these people are forcing me to watch gay porn,
yeah,
and I have this whole thing of like people who asked me for dick pics got banned from the chat.
yeah,
You know, like it's I wasn't as dumb as you think I was,
yeah.
and of course I asked for dick pics. Let's not kid ourselves here, ladies and gentlemen. But the second somebody would ask me, I'm like, "Ooh, I'm a child,"
Yeah,
and of course people wouldn't send me dick pics because they go like, "You're a child,"
child, yeah,
and then some like this like he didn't find this conversation, but there was a conversation of like, "Hey, I don't want to give you that because you're a kid." But like I know that sexual exploration is important. Here are some gay porn sites,
yeah,
and it's like explore your own sexuality and shit like that. Sure. And my dad just saw that and he was like, you fell into that. And then my poor mother doesn't know English. So
yeah,
she, like, whatever dad tells her,
yeah.
she gets fed. And I'm like, you have the audacity to tell me that I almost fell into the claws of predators, and then your friends
Yeah.
did this,
Yeah.
and you
Did nothing.
think that that's much better.
Yeah.
You like, I cannot believe, like, your friends are predators,
Yeah.
and the son of their friend is chasing your 25-year-old daughter, and he's 40.
Yeah. Gee, God, I hate that man.
And everyone's just so like, okay.
Yeah.
And with personally with my sister, I'm just like, okay, because you got to learn from your mistakes. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it's your mistake that a
Yeah, you're
guy
a
is
full grown
chasing you.
adult, like
I'm saying
now.
it's your mistake that you are letting this go on for months, and then
Yeah.
you go like, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Being like, it's just fun how idiotic he is. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if she wants to play with that because, like, she's like, it's not gonna impact her, you know. But like,
How's it not gonna impact her? Because he's gonna keep going and keep going,
yeah,
and
he's gonna keep going, but she's not gonna give into it, and it's gonna like she. I'm saying like she's an adult, like it's not
yeah, she's not gonna.
damaging, you
Yeah,
know.
she's not gonna get. But I'm like, first of all, you're saying that it's fun. I know that deep inside of you, like, it hurts,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's just weird,
No, it is. It's
and
all together just like
I'm waiting to have my independence to be like, hey, this is creepy.
yeah,
This you're a predator. You're a predator.
shouldn't be doing that.
Like,
Call me crazy.
no, I just want to be like, hey, imagine if I took like
Yeah.
your some nephew that you care
Mm.
about very much, and I was just like, here's gay porn,
Yeah.
gay pornography.
Yeah.
Here's a hairy there, and especially my gay porn.
Girl, that's not okay for you to watch.
Um, I go like, here's a book. It's called 100 Days of Sodom. And he's like, I can't read, and I go like, it's okay. It'll be your bedtime story. And it's like, imagine if I did that, I get instantly branded a pedophile.
Yeah.
And as I said,
Rightfully.
rightfully so, and you get branded nothing.
Yeah.
You are just
Funny.
you're so funny.
You're so
You're so fun
quirky.
and sexually open, and you're just
Yeah.
like, you're such a hippie.
Yeah.
It's different if your friend is a nudist.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to be sexually open, then have an open relationship with your wife. Like, you know,
Yeah,
don't bring children into
yeah.
something. That,
No, I'm saying like there's people who are nudists, and it's like, hey, I will not wear clothes in front of your children, and now I'm informing you that because I know that that's like a not a
yeah.
normal thing. And it's like, okay, will you have an erection? And they go like, no, and I go, okay.
Okay.
There's a conversation to be had, but it's like my mom being like, yeah, I know that his jokes are predatory, and I'm like, first of all, jokes are predatory. Second of all, everything about his humor is about making fun of somebody else,
Yeah.
and it comes to a point of like, I told you one time I was like laying in their house because she was like, make yourselves at home, and I was like, I will,
Slay.
and he was like, oh, you sit on your ass, not your back, and I was like, I was told to sit however I want, and this is how I sit, and he goes like, do you want me to slap you? And I was like, only if you want me to hit you. Like, and then it was like, done it, and I was like, what? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
threatening with
All of a sudden,
physical
it's not funny.
violence is not hilarious.
We're not giggling anymore.
I'm just saying, I'll break your nose. That's hilarious
Yeah.
to me. And they were so like,
Yeah.
politely, and then it's my fault for like
Yeah, as
speaking
soon
out
as you
about shit
call it out, people are like, "Oh, you're raising it, like you're raising tensions or whatever." But
when
it's
I'm
like,
defending myself.
yeah,
A thing that my parents should be doing.
yeah,
My grandma once came over and she was like, so that friend of yours whose father committed suicide,
yeah,
is she working now? And I'm like, no, she's like getting pension funds because like it's that way her mother gets like pension funds before she blah 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 blah. It's a lot of things. It's something. And she's like, well, she should be like working illegally. And I'm like, well, no. And then she goes like, oh, she's full of shit. And I go like, you're full of shit, grandma. And my mom was so like, darn it. And it became this thing of like everybody knew about it.
yeah.
Everybody kept talking about it. And people were kept being like, she just wants you to apologize. And I'm like,
No,
and she gave me money, being like, I'll pretend that I didn't hear that part. And I was like, if you're,
say it again.
and I was like,
Do it again.
no, I literally went like, you don't have to give me money. Just hear what I said.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't need to take I'm not gonna pretend to be nice to you to take this money.
yeah,
You can take this money back. I said what I said. And I went like, her father killed herself.
yeah.
Killed himself. I always say that. Kills herself. Her father killed himself. And she goes like, oh, but that was months ago.
That was months ago.
Not even a full year. I mentioned that she was trying to find a therapist, and she was like, "Oh, did it come to that?
What needs to happen
What needs to
for you to be like, okay,
But also,
go see a therapist?
and the thing is, those people fully go like, "What do I have to sit here and tell you and be like, hey, I was raped," and
Yeah.
then you go like, "Okay, now you can see a therapist.
Yeah.
Now I won't judge you. Now I won't call you crazy."
That is like her dad killed himself.
Yeah,
Like there's like
that's what I mean. Like,
doesn't get
what point do you have to
Yeah.
get to be like, no? Do you have like, and but the thing is, like, imagine going through something that they would deem so horrendous, and you have to stand here and be like, so this guy abducted me when I was a teenager
Yeah.
and kept me in his shed,
It
and
was
then
such a long time ago. Like get over it.
also, but like, you just expect me to tell you,
Yeah.
just like how somebody feels,
Yeah.
and it's also recently she called me. A newsflash, I'm fat, but they've been telling me I'm fat since day one. Like, it
Yeah.
was always
So the
chubby John,
little
chubby John,
twink.
chubby John. I was for some time bulimic.
Yeah.
That's the only time they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
where
never
you were good.
it's never like, oh, you lost weight. Oh, you're skinny now.
Yeah.
It's just like, hello.
Yeah.
Now we treat you normally.
Yeah.
Now we'll talk about how you suck at school. And now she calls me, and she calls my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh, John, like I'm just making breakfast," and John like has a break now. He's like, "Oh, let me hear from John," and I go like, "Hi, Grandma," and she's, which by the way, like, "Hi, Grandma," and she's like, "How much are you gonna eat?"
Jesus.
And then I go like, "I'll eat however much I like," and she goes like, "Eat 2 slices," and I go like, "Okay, so you call me just to tell me
Berate
what to
me.
do," and she's like, "I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what's best for you." And I just go like, "Say hi to Grandpa," and like
Yeah.
hung up.
That's also like, what do you expect people to react when you do that? Oh, thank you. Yes, I will.
Thank you, SOL. And the next time you see me in 2 days, I will be so skinny.
So skinny.
I will be Emily Blunt in The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
I will be like, my underwear won't stick to my skin because
Yeah.
it bumps into my bones, you know? Like, and that's another thing that's normalized.
Yeah.
It's so like,
It's not
yeah,
like
you're
fat shaming and shit, but I'm very like I'm so detached. I really my brain, which I'm so grateful for, does this where it's like if I have no respect for you, whatever you say to me really doesn't matter. And like I won't take it.
you know what my thing with that is? You get away with it.
Yeah, I know, but
You
like
go
it
home
doesn't
and
like
you live
hurt
a
me.
life that you think is happy,
Yeah.
and you like, and I'm supposed to stand here and have a fight with my mom because I called you out on your bullshit.
Yeah.
I just like, and I want to have my problem right now is everything will go on to my mom. Like, that this is
Yeah.
how you raise them. This is and I just want to be like, you don't give a flying shit about me or
Yeah.
anybody in your life. You just want to complain and
Yeah.
say how people are bad. You never look at yourself. You're going to be miserable, and I'm not going to talk to you until you die.
Yeah.
Like, that is, I'm not happy around you.
Yeah.
I don't feel loved around you. I don't feel cared for around you.
It's like why don't you come over? Because you make me feel miserable.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I'm just waiting for an opportunity to be able to fully be like, hey, whenever I come here, I feel miserable.
Yeah.
Miserable. Like, there's nothing good about coming to this place. I have many here that I can hook up with. Decent, good men.
Married men.
Stop. But like, decent, nice men
Yeah.
being like, I can't wait for you to come over, not just for sexual purposes.
Yeah.
And And do you know how many of those I have in B Hutch? Like, -3.
Yeah.
And I'm being like, I won't do that because I will see you.
Yeah.
And I will,
No, it's just horrible. It's horrible because people will never. There is nothing to say or to do that will make them realize that what they're doing is bad.
that's what I want to, that's why I'm just like, I'm going to cut you off. Don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
And if anybody says anything, I'm like, I'm protecting myself, something that you're not doing.
Yeah.
And I know that you're like, for instance, my mom, I know that you're doing your best.
Yeah.
But I'm
Doesn't
protecting
mean
my
that.
own
Yeah.
health here.
Yeah. It doesn't mean I have
And
to
if
put up.
your health, like, if you want to protect your health, maybe cut her off too.
Yeah.
And also, my dad doesn't like you. Like, it's nobody likes you, but nobody has the guts to be like,
Fuck off.
you are making me feel miserable.
Yeah.
You like, it's the worst. Um, and then it will all be like, and I remember she called my aunt about it, like aunt that's married into the family,
Mhm.
right? And she told me about, and my uncle was instantly like, and my aunt was like, oh my god, and he said her to like, like that she's full of shit, and he goes like, do you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Do you hear that story? Like, do you think that that was okay from her? And she's like, no, but it did hurt her. And she's like, and
Yeah.
did you think about how much it hurt John?
Yeah.
That his best friend was being commented on.
Yeah.
You don't know her situation. You don't know her situation with her mother.
Yeah. You don't get to say anything. You don't know her. Like,
Yeah. All that you know about her is that like her dad killed himself,
yeah.
and you are finding an opportunity
To shit on her.
to shit on her. What does that tell you about yourself?
Yeah.
You didn't see the war.
Yeah.
You just escaped instantly,
Mhm.
and that is a fair prerogative, but you don't get to be like, I went through shit.
Yeah.
Those people don't get to comment on other people.
Also,
at least there is some like, okay, you have PTSD, you're crazy,
Yeah.
like you went through so much shit, and it's like not fair, but like I
but
can
even that
see-
is just because, like, that's the reason why you are the way you are. Is because you're looking down upon therapy, or because you're being so like, yeah, that's for crazy people. And then you go through shit, and then you don't do anything about
Yeah.
it, and you just sit there in your own misery. Like, what? Why?
but also you didn't like in this case.
Yeah,
you didn't go through shit.
Yeah.
You were fairly like always on a. I mean, you had a bad mother, sure. Like, but that's
Who
something.
has?
that was something that should have been done through therapy and shit like that. But now you don't even get to fall back on like, I've been through the war. I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Girl, you haven't seen a sibling die. You know,
Yeah.
like it's
You don't know what war is.
and my uncle who lost a leg, who has been in war,
Yeah.
he would be like, oh, she's going through therapy. Good for her.
Yeah. No, I don't know. People are just shitty.
So you wanted to introduce a new segment into this podcast, and
Yes.
and I said, no, I think this is sufficient.
This is perfect. I don't know what you're talking. No, I'm. The only reason why is that I would like. Okay, so the new segment is to just pick
The
a
new
topic.
segment might be
To pick a top, like, so we'll do our little like, your week, whatever. But okay, so for this, like, we're talking about this, the topic very well could have been family trauma. Like,
But do you think I'm gonna just be like, hey, can we talk about family trauma today?
no, but I'm saying to be like a pointed conversation, because we run through topics very fast, and then it's like, yeah, we have points to make and we make them, but we don't really dive into anything. Like, we'll
And you
do
think
this,
that
and then
having
we'll
a
just go
pointed
to next.
conversation will help us with that?
I think so.
Okay. Good for you for having faith.
For believing
For believing
in fairy tales.
that we won't be like, okay, so today we're talking about the national epidemic of losing toilet paper. You know what? Toilet paper masturbation.
It's just an idea. I don't know, but I just wanted it to be like, okay, we can. This is what we're gonna talk about.
But I feel two things. I feel like it's fun to just have a random thing pop up.
Yeah.
Like now, randomly, family trauma popped up.
Yeah.
Eventually, like multiple times an episode, porn will pop up. That's normal. And then having one thing, it feels like, why is that a mother segment? Why is that in our So Mother Skipping the Cracks podcast? Why?
Should we do another podcast? And just be like, okay, so.
And then whenever we have a slightest idea, we do another
Yeah.
podcast. But no, I do like the idea of like talking about a specific subject, but I like coming upon that subject
Natural.
suddenly and naturally. Yeah, that's what, and I feel like we do that.
Yeah.
Also this week, I watched like, see, I would be like, let's what. My thing is, you mentioned rom-coms as an example of like, let's talk about
Yeah.
rom-coms. How can you stop me from just talking about 10 things I hate about you and Notting Hill? Like, how can you?
Because I'll talk about Pretty Woman.
No, but like it's the thing of like we shouldn't talk about a specific. We should talk about the genre and shit
Yeah.
like that. And then
No,
I'd
but
just be
it's
like,
like,
so
like for example, in this movie they did like did it
yeah.
like
For
this.
example, in 10 Things I Hate About You, the movie starts with a oh my god, we gotta watch that movie. Also, we gotta rewatch the second episode of WandaVision.
Yeah,
But we'll do that when we like make dinner. Oh, we should take the chicken out.
you should take the chicken.
Should I do it right now?
Do it right now. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Do it live. Oh, that money could bring. Would you like some Harajuku Girls?
I love some Harajuku Girl.
Love Angel Music, baby.
Um,
Love Angel Music. What my favorite joke about that? So it's Thorgy Thor going like, okay, can you be Bob, please? Because I want to be Thorgy.
okay. So how do you feel about Pink?
No. First, like the song they sing is "So What." Like that's what
Oh,
I say.
okay. The song that they sing is So What?
I'm not really like a huge Pink fan. I don't like her. I think she's a bad seed on this earth. Cut that out, right? I was a bit too much. Okay, cut it out. Okay.
So so the song is So What?
So what?
How do you feel about Pink?
Love Pink. Love Pink. And my favorite is somebody went like nobody, and then it's like the B-52s, and they go like Love Shack. Lady Gaga in 2010. Love Game. Love Game.
So funny.
What? Oh no, I want to talk about. I watched. It's my usual double feature that I thought it was like a pick me up double feature. Of 10 Things I Hate About You, followed by Devil Wears Prada, and I thought that's two pick me up movies, and then one day I was really sad and I watched two of them, and I just felt single and gay. I was like, these movies make me happy. I just felt so like because I was sad about relationship things,
Yeah.
and I was like, and I chose.
To do this to myself. Well, we as humans are complicated.
No, but I'm not being like, oh, I'm like, I feel like watching The Notebook would have made me feel better. You know,
Yeah.
like watching something sad to make it. But this is just like, I was like, I
This is a fun, cute little.
I was literally like, oh my god, I hate being gay because like the dating scene sucks. And then it's like, I watched the perfect romantic comedy, and then I go like, I'm so single. And then I watch The Devil Wears Prada and I go like, I'm such a faggot.
Okay.
But no, now it's like I was bored at work and I was like, Devil Wears Prada.
So nice.
What's a thing? There's a tweet recently because I instantly thought of the Devil Wears Prada when they tweeted it. It was like, what song do you instantly connect to a movie?
Oh.
And for me, it was Suddenly I See.
Okay.
It's the opening to like Suddenly I See, Suddenly
For
I
me, it's
See.
too late to apologize.
Okay, explain, please. I do. Oh, but that's because no, a movie, Selma.
Oh,
Selma,
sorry,
a movie.
sorry.
Selma, a movie.
Okay, what?
Another example was I Need a Hero will always be
Oh, yeah,
correlated to Shrek.
What do I?
Somebody did it with like a very popular good song.
For me, it is very much like TV shows. I don't think I do movies.
So then think of TV shows.
Because like there's like they did a lot of it training men in Will and Grace. So I'm like, oh, Will and Grace.
I cannot.
Like,
if you play me, it's Raining Men. I don't think about anything else but the beauty about that song. I love in Bob's Burgers one time they did like, it's the best disco song. Mother, I'm gonna name you three words. It's Raining Men. And she goes like, okay, second best. Somebody did like a really good famous song that I don't relate to a movie, but then they were like, yeah, it's this. And I was like, okay. And I'm talking about like songs that aren't made for the movie. Like obviously you will think of Barbie when What Was I Made For starts going. Oh, there
My
was
heart will go on. It's a niche one. You would have
yeah. No, I don't. I just don't. Do we want to talk about that trans guy?
That trying which
That trans guy. That guy who's like, see, I'm not a woman. I'm a fake woman.
Oh, the guy who's pretending to be trans.
Yeah.
He's not pretending anymore.
That's the thing. So
You're
it's a
not.
thing of
Though
people are.
my favorite thing is somebody just zoomed in on his cuticles, on his fingernails were so well done that everyone was like, "You're not doing this as a joke.
No, it's the thing
You're
of like
loving this."
it's both sides are being like not even the Republicans are being like, is the are they the bad ones?
Yeah, they're the bad
I
ones.
finally learned
They're the
it.
bad seed in this world.
Can we cut the
Love Republicans.
Republicans? um,
Love Melania.
no, it's a thing of people are both sides are Republicans are being like, you're being so funny. Both
Yeah.
sides are like, you kind of like this.
Kind of. We don't want this.
Republicans are being like,
We,
ooh, there ain't no other way. Um, no, I can't remember because it was like a fun little song. Oh, name a song that you'd give anything to hear. Oh, this is a different one, but it is made for the movie. Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey, carrying the Great Gatsby. But it was made
Great
for
Gatsby.
it was
Mhm.
made for the Great Gatsby. So people were like, it carried the movie, and I'm like, I think it's a good movie. I think it was a great like great adaptation.
No, there's a lot of movies that seem very boyish to me, and I'm like, I probably won't like it. So
The
I just
Great Gatsby, it's a Fight Club situation.
yeah,
It's every single gym bro has read The Great Gatsby,
yeah.
and when
Those
like
things are
Gatsby's so cool, and it's like the point is, but it's funny
It's kind
because
of like Hamilton. Point is, it got him killed.
you got exactly to the core of The Great Gatsby, and nobody went to his funeral
Play stupid games. My favorite thing.
except his friend that's
The guy, the fat guy.
no he has a friend who's the narrator of the story.
Oh,
So
okay.
the great guy, like Gatsby himself, isn't the
Wait,
narrator.
am I talking about the Wall Street guys? Is that the same movie?
No, it's not.
Okay, it was
The Great
also like
Gatsby. The Great Gatsby is like a classic American literature novel.
okay, because I no, but I
I
was like,
feel like
is
The
it
Wolf of Wall Street is just
the Wolf of Wall
indulgently.
Street? Yeah,
I feel like The Wolf of Wall is indulgently like men.
yeah.
Whoa.
Woo.
No, The Great Gatsby is it's a classic American novel about just this guy and he's like new money, and then old
Mhm.
money people are like, we don't like you.
Yeah,
And then it's like, how do you get that new money?
yeah,
And then he lives his hedonistic lifestyle, and his parties are, the gas.
yeah.
And
Shit.
yeah, and then Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man fame
It's like
is in the movie. He's like, and he's so great. And when you read the book, it's very gay.
yeah.
And then he just dies, and nobody comes to his funeral.
That's sad.
And then it's and now people are being like, he's so baby girl, and I'm like, Gatsby.
Gatsby, Mr. Gatsby. Oh,
People are going now like, F. Scott Fitzgerald would have voted for Trump, and I was like, the writer of Great Gatsby. His book will be banned if Trump is.
yeah,
Anyways, yeah.
yeah,
And now I'm thinking of like other songs that I instantly relate to movies that aren't, you know.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, it is in the movie, but it's not made for the movie. Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Instantly Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Instantly Moulin Rouge. I think of Vogue when I think of Devil Wears Prada when I hear Vogue.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
But for me, Vogue is a separate thing.
I know that it is a separate thing for you, but for me, I cannot think of Vogue and not think of the montage of her. But also because you forget that it's a Vogue montage.
Like,
You get too excited, you pass out.
like you would.
I didn't.
Okay. So she
Um,
was the best part of that movie, even though we know Madonna sucks at acting. Because it wasn't really like she had 4 scenes and it was very just her being Madonna. Like
yeah.
it wasn't.
I love that movie where Taylor Swift acted. They pushed her under a car. She, and also it was such a hullabaloo of like, oh my god, Taylor Swift is gonna act in this movie, and then it's a scene of being like, please let me tell you, this thing has happened, and literally somebody just from like outside of the screen just pushes her, and then it's just like a dummy under a car. It's so funny.
I don't know what's that.
It's called Amsterdam.
Okay. I had a hamster. His name was Hamsterdam.
You are. Let me tell you about you.
Tell me about me.
Um.
That's adorable.
Something new is happening in the news. Women are visiting Nick Fuentes' home.
Oh yeah, they're knocking on hell's door. No, I think
And my favorite tweet was like somebody being like, "Oh, I guess Nick Fuentes now just has to walk with one earphone,
yeah,
with keys between his
yeah,
fingers, carrying mace constantly, checking his shadows."
yeah.
That's what I do. That I don't hear women talk about a lot, and I'm just like, you gotta adapt and overcome.
Yeah.
When I walk, I check. I want the shadow to be in front of me because
Okay.
I can see if somebody walks behind me, I'll see his shadow approaching, and if it's approaching quickly,
My thing is, I'm not that, and I think it's
you're not
because I'm not
paranoid.
walking around. Whenever I'm walking around at night, it's with the dog, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm very like secure in the knowledge that everybody would be afraid of him.
And I'm
And
colorful. That's my problem.
and I go, but and I don't really go alone
Yeah.
at night. So
Yeah, you don't really have a lot of anxiety inducing moments.
yeah,
And you have this thing where you feel invincible on the bike, which I do too.
yeah. So it's chill.
Like,
Who's gonna like? What are you gonna do? Just like barricade me and then knock me off the bike? Like
oh yeah, on the
it's not
bike.
gonna
I was
happen.
like, I was like, you were like, what is he gonna do? And I'm like,
Murder, rape,
worse
where
forces you to watch Lord of the Rings.
forces you to watch American Horror Story.
Oh my god, I'd rather have my arm cut out. There's that like in Family Guy they forced Meg, like they tied her to a chair and forced her to watch the bad parts of Monty Python, and then she goes like, "I'm a girl. I don't even like the good parts of Monty Python." Monty Python is great though. It's it's this thing of like it's just dumb British
Yeah.
humor, and then my favorite is Life of Brian.
Bye bye.
Um, it's the story of Jesus, but Jesus is a whole. I'm like, guys, what
The
the
fuck?
fuck?
Yeah.
And then one guy goes like, "He cured my blindness," and then falls into a hole.
Yeah.
Like people are just being like, "He's our savior," and he's like, "Guys." And then they're like forcing him to get on the cross, and he's like, "I kept telling you guys." Like, and then at the end, they're all on the because Jesus wasn't the only guy crucified. There was like other people, and then he's in the field of the crucified people, and then he goes like, "Always look on the bright side of life. Always look." And that's
Oh,
like,
my favorite joke. Somebody was like, "Imagine being the one guy who only knows Jesus as a carpenter, and then just like, and you're walking around, being like, let's find that guy who made my table.
really good
He was,
tables.
yeah, he was really good at. I don't know. It's weird. Weird.
Anyways,
Anyway, I kept so I put in the fucking projector in my room, and it's changed my life for the better in so many ways. I'm genuinely excited to come home now. Like I'm so happy being like, oh my god, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna watch my little show on my projector, and it's so fun. And there's a new like thing with Criminal Minds that they're doing where it's like evolution, and
they
now
say
they're
shit and fuck.
yeah, they're very like raunchy or whatever, and that because like the beginning, like the first 16 seasons, it's a very like
I was so fun because you were talking to me about it, and then you're like, and then I finished season 15, and then I went on to watch season
16.
16, and I was like, Selma, wait, stop right now.
You're
What?
telling me.
And I was like, you're telling me that after season 15
Come
comes season 16. Wow,
crazy.
what a show.
I know. Um,
I love it when they do new shit like that.
yeah. Evolution indeed. But and I love it so much. Okay, can I talk about Paget Brewster for a second? Just a tiny second. She is doing a whole thing with her hair where she's just letting it be gray.
Mm-hmm.
But she looks, oh my god. I'm so excited to see her on screen. And my thing was when they started this, it's very actiony now. It's not as,
It's like they
meant to like
revolutionized the
yeah.
show.
But they had one, so it's very like the forensics thing discovered this, and that's how they found him. Meanwhile, before it was very like your mother is a whore, that's why you kill. Like like it's that, and I want that back.
And now it's like, we found the blood on the blood scene.
Exactly. But they had one scene of, so they're trying to catch this guy, whatever, and he is very obsessed with his mom, and it's a very like, oh, he's killing women that remind him of his mom, whatever type thing. And then
Original.
I know, and they brought him into interrogation room, and it's her, but she's the head of the BAU now, so she doesn't do that. She's the boss, but then she's looking at him. Nobody can get through to him, and then she's like standing there with her beautiful gray hair. I'm gonna cry. And then she's taking off her coat, and the guy goes like, What are you doing?" And she's like, "Giving him what he wants, mommy." And then she walks into the room, and I was so like, Yes.
You know
And
that
I'm like, that, yep, you would get me.
you know that one faggot in the writing room.
Yes.
Everybody kept ignoring him, and then he was like, "What about this?" And then we're like, "Ooh,
Ooh, that part, do that.
that's good. That's good."
Giving him what he wants. And then like my entire TikTok is
No,
just
it's funny
that.
because she literally went like, "It's giving mommy."
It's giving mother.
Like it was a gay guy like in the writing room being like, "She's giving mother," and they were like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
"Say that again."
Ooh, pass me a juice.
Speaking of mother,
Ooh.
Demi Moore.
Ooh.
Let me tell you something
Tell
that
me
I
something.
need in my life.
Mm.
I want to be the center of attention. Just trying to go that extra mile for you. Got that display of attention. I don't know much of the rest of the song, but I just want to say, Demi Moore, Demi Moore, Demi Moore. We watched The Substance again yesterday. Selma,
I'll have to watch The Substance again.
Selma, how are you feeling?
Not well. I am not okay. I am not well. I hate. Okay, this movie hits every part of my being.
And you know what's the weirdest thing?
Hmm.
The movie does not really take itself that seriously.
That's the thing, and everyone
But
was
then
so
the
like,
serious
whoa.
parts are like hit more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
it's a very like, no, it's very campy, like, sure, but it's the disgust part was done perfectly because I wanted to die through the most of it,
oh,
right?
the body horror.
Yes, the body horror was done perfectly.
You were like the disgust part, and I was like, oh, her looking at herself in the mirror.
And then the sheer bane of the female experience of life.
How I
It's-
love being.
Oh, how I love. Oh, how I.
Oh, how I feel about being a woman. Strongly.
And then they hit you also with the like emotional parts with that guy, and it's just like,
Not just though, not just the guy. Like,
yeah, but like, to have a little bit of like, oh, moment too.
and then you also have two cunty women.
Yeah.
At the center of it.
So it's everything. It's just my brain is exploding.
It's everything, but never feels overwhelming. It
Yeah.
never feels like why did they do?
Never feels so.
It never feels overwhelming in a way of like why did they add camp to this?
Yeah, yeah.
Why didn't they just stick to seriousness? Personally, I was gonna say something about something I said. I was gonna say that recently, so these family friends came, and I was like, "Oh, my mother doesn't want to watch The Substance. It's a bit too much for her right now. She's like going through a lot, and she just wants." She goes like,
It's pretty things.
"No, no. She's so much funnier." She goes like, "John, I just want my human killers. I
Fair.
just
Like,
want my like crime dramas,
Mhm.
and that's it." And I go like, "Okay."
have her watch Criminal Minds. She'll love it.
And no, she goes more. She's like, "I need a priest on a bicycle. I need my Inspector Morse."
Mhm.
And it's a thing of like her friend went like, "Oh, you did what?" And my break was over, so I'm going. And they're loud people.
Mhm.
I grew up with them, and she goes like, "Oh, Demi Moore." It's funny because whoever you talk to that movie about, if it's not like a young and Gen Z person
Yeah.
like your friend Amela,
Yeah.
like it's
Demi Moore.
it's the second somebody's like an old soul, it's like, oh, Demi Moore. um, so it's what parts of the movie did you like?
None of it.
Not
All of it. Yeah, it's like like where to begin.
maybe at the start.
It's a very good place to start.
No, I wouldn't say at the start. Let's not because we'll then go like and
what's your worst scene that made your asshole clench?
you know my worst scene, and it's not funny. It's not
Nails.
just the nails.
The nails.
Just the nails. I could go teeth.
Okay.
Because I'm fine with the teeth easily being pulled out.
I'm not
I'm
because it was so long.
I'm not fine with like a
No, because I'm okay. Here's my thing. Usually in movies where there's like a boom, I hit your face and the tooth falls out. It's just like it's a tooth, like it's what you see.
but
What they did so perfectly, it's so accurate because I had a tooth pulled. It was like 5 centimeters long, like it was huge. So the way they're
me
doing it,
too. But they did it like it felt like her gums were already
no,
going.
that's fine. It's the size of the tooth and
I
the
didn't mind that.
realization that there's teeth in me right now that are that big.
I don't
Just
mind that because I got 4 teeth, like healthy, normal teeth, pulled out of me for to make space, so I'm fine with that. I don't like like there's pain, like there's like I'm forcing to pull here.
no, but just imagine the texture of even if it's zero pain.
See,
Just
I just go
imagine
like
pulling it down.
I just literally I'd go like it's corn on the cob, like give me anything with nails, and I am so gone. I
But
stood
then
up.
also nails didn't hurt her.
I don't care.
Like,
The visual hurts me.
okay.
It's is it a chicken bone for you? Let's not talk about the emotional distress.
Yeah.
Let's talk about purely like
Just disgusting. That's
yeah.
the thing, because I'm like, okay, it was the chicken
Oh,
bone when
seeing
I
boobs
first
for
watched
me
it. It
and
was like
vaginas.
it's just
That
ew,
oh
girl. No, it was the chicken bone when I first watched it because it was so new, a new concept, let's say. And I was
for
watching
you
that
and
and
Abra.
like,
It's funny because the both of you were like that scene
yeah.
is like when the body horror started hitting me, and it's just like I've been there. That happened to me.
Yeah. Um, but now rewatching it, I don't know if that's it. Cause like now I'm thinking about it
Is it
being
the
like,
teeth?
okay, I don't think it's the teeth either. I'm like really
If it's Electro Monster, she will hit you in
no,
the
no, no,
face.
no. I love her. We love her.
She's
She's a pretty girl.
she
She's a
is
beautiful girl.
she's Elizabeth.
She
She's
is,
Sue.
yeah. It's me, guys.
She's Drew Barrymore.
It's
God,
me,
guys, guys,
guys.
it's me, Drew
It's me.
Barrymore, and she's coming up to people, putting like hands on. Guys, it's me, Drew Barrymore. I
Um,
love whenever anybody does a Drew Barrymore impression. They'll go, "Guys, it's me, it's Drew Barrymore." It's funny because you go like, "That's hot," and then you're like, "Oh, you know who it is." But with Drew Barrymore, it's like, "Hi guys, it's me, it's Drew
I know, I
Barrymore.
know.
It's Drew Barrymore."
I love her. I love her. Can I just say one second for one moment right now here on record?
Uh huh.
If you do not want to have your space invaded, if you do not want to be touched, if you do not want to be gazed at lovingly, don't go to her show. I hate people. Who's that bit? Martha Stewart.
No, but that was a joke.
No, but she did have like a. Was
No,
it?
but she was like, I just need the loving embrace of a man, and then Drew like started touching her more,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Oh, you're not the right gender," and she pushed
Pushed
her
her. Yeah,
like,
and then
but it
she
was,
fell down.
but
But
then like an article was like, Martha Stewart pushes away Drew Barrymore.
okay, maybe not her, but there are people, and there are people on the
Oprah.
internet who are
Oprah.
and there are people on the internet going like, "Drew Barrymore is weird for that." Like, no, leave it be. Can you just shut up?
If you want your personal space invaded in a non like touchy way, just go to Oprah.
Like,
She'll
fully.
she'll ask you about what you did on January 6th.
Like,
And what you told her before the scene was like, "Hey, can we not talk about what I did January 6th?"
like, talk about what she did to what's his face,
Nathan Lane.
Mason Lane. Fuck her. Like, I don't like Oprah. That's not new.
Yeah.
That's no news. But I'm saying, like, all these people who are talking shit about Drew Barrymore, it's like she's a genuine, nice person, and you people can't handle that because you want a Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon type to just sit there and awkwardly laugh at jokes that are not funny because that's what you're used to. I hate it. Shut up.
Or
I like Jimmy Fallon.
I love
Jimmy Kimmel could, live forever.
I love Graham Norton.
I love Graham Norton too, and I
Yeah.
love Stephen Colbert.
Okay. I love Stephen Colbert too, but in like a
No, I started.
take me to bed.
Steven?
Yeah,
Steven.
Stephen Colbert, like gray hair now, classic.
I mean, sure. Not knocking it, yeah.
What's the Jimmy guy who gave Bella Hadid a sandwich?
No, that's Fallon. We like
Fallon,
Fallon.
yeah, he's like your average.
Oh,
Like
he's just
I
a
dick him down,
yeah.
like. But
I dick him down.
Stephen Colbert, not just take me to bed. It's like
Marry
marry
me.
me. Yeah, very.
I
So
loved him with
yeah, Stephen
Nicki Minaj.
Colbert. Yeah, I've googled, I've seen, and what I've seen,
Mm.
I'm gazing lovingly.
Gazing lovingly. You know that like the Nicki Minaj thing, and then she came back. Do you know the rap that she did with him?
Mhm.
How did you avoid that? You're a person on the internet. She was doing like a freestyle thing, and she was doing like I might fuck Steven after the show, might come to work with a natural glow, and then she's like, but when you stop, don't look at me and stare, just address me as Nikki Colbert or something. And then it was like a whole, I mean, she did it
Yeah.
well.
You know who sang the best at one of those?
Mhm.
You know who I'll do. Bitch, I said
Said
what
what
they
I
said.
said.
I'd rather be famous
famous
instead.
instead.
I don't care. I don't care. I paint the
The
town
town
red.
red. No, my
Red.
favorite was Ariana Grande doing Evan like God style with
Oh, like did you do like Sister Act?
no, she did like an Evanescence type, but for like a rap song,
Okay.
and it was like some bitch sit down, like
Yeah.
whatever, and she did it so perfectly. Um, and she was like, bitch sit down, like it was so good, loved it.
Get it too.
But then Stephen Colbert, like when she came back, did like a rap for her, and she was coaching him through it, being like, okay, just whatever comes, like just do it, like do like a freestyle thing. And then he went like, you like the you better be aware if you ever meet my wife Claire, like it was a very cute like moment,
okay.
and I was like, oh, I love him. I love Stephen Colbert.
You know who should be on a talk show like Demi Moore? There's a great scene with the talk show,
Oh yeah, speaking of
and
talk shows, I think that's my favorite like part of the movie.
that's where I saw myself.
It's
Seven eggs.
yeah, just being you fucking bitch, tell them, and just
No. The
mocking.
best part of the movie happens before that. Just the balance has to be respected. Then respected.
Mm.
Hard cut to her just staring.
God,
And then she's like
Ooh.
to punish Sue. She's but
Mm.
to punish.
worst scene disgust wise, knees,
Ooh,
her knees.
because we were late.
We were late. First of all, second of all, the fact that it's so bulging
Oh,
and it looks weirdly real,
yeah,
so scary.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my worst.
Okay,
I have no words left.
okay. Um, I so let's talk about Elizabeth. Let's talk about Sue, and let's talk about Monster Elizabeth Sue.
Who's the real mother
Oh, she is
of
that. That's
today?
why we're making this
Oh.
episode. And it's weird because we're all being kind of like, haha, we're being funny, but it's also like, she loves herself.
Yeah, she's with it. She's like, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm Elizabeth.
But it was so
I'm
sad.
yeah, it was so sad. Let me tell you two words, Selma.
Tell me two words.
Don't. Don't.
Just don't.
No, I mean, one of like, I'm gonna tell you two segments.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. Oh no, don't.
No. I forgot. I had forgotten. I blocked it. My memory.
Actually, it's not two words. It's two phrases.
Oh,
You're the best part of myself.
you're the
You're
best.
the only.
You're the only lovable part of me. Okay, let's.
Tears, literally tearing up.
I'm getting up. Standing up for. I'm fixing my posture.
Literally tearing up.
First of all. Okay,
And
let's
it's a
do it
double-
chronologically.
It's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy. Because here's the thing. It's her.
Yeah, it's
It's the same person. Okay, so she's on the floor and she's like, I want this to stop. Because, now she has a hump on her back. So she's like, maybe,
yeah.
maybe I'm bald and I had my knees. Anyway, so she's like, okay, I need to stop this. There's a thing. They deliver a thing for her so she can stab stab
Into
Sue, kill Sue, let go of Sue, right? Let go
And
of that
she's
part.
squirting it into her. She
And she's
is.
doing it, and then there's the little voice going like, "You can never go back. You
No,
can
no, no.
never go
Before
back."
she sticks it in.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And then she's like, oh, no, no, no.
no,
I have to. And then she's doing it. And then she sees the poster
yeah,
outside for New Year's.
yeah, being like, and then she sees the flowers, like, and the
They're
flowers
going
note
to
that
love
says they're
you.
gonna love you. And she is, she stops in the middle, and she's like, "No, I need you back. You're the only
Only lovable
lovable part
part
of
of
me."
me. And oh my God, Demi Moore.
Okay, I need a second. No, for me, it's like, okay, you're the only lovable part of me. Then she wakes her up, and they're both awake now
Yeah, that's,
because it's like this something
and she
happened.
realizes,
And then
Sue realizes you wanted to kill me.
yeah, Sue realizes you wanted to kill me, and then Sue is like, "Why should you live? Look at
Yeah.
yourself, you."
I mean,
You
she
know.
doesn't say it.
Yeah,
It's all in the context of like, oh, she hit her in the face.
yeah. So then they have this. They start fighting, and obviously Sue is stronger and younger and whatever. And then she's falling apart. Elizabeth's falling apart, and I'm fine. Whatever. Blood, flailing
You're
arms,
just
dragging each other.
you're just doing breathing exercises
Yeah,
because you just
because it's
watched
coming.
like because you just no because you watched like you're the only lovable part of me. So
Yeah.
I paused the movie for 20 minutes, went on a little walk so you can recollect yourself,
Yeah.
cry over your picture of Demi Moore, and then I came back like, okay, we can continue now. And you're like, I'm still a bit upset, but
Sure,
we can go on.
if you insist. So they start fighting each other, and it's just like whatever. And then Sue, they're in the mirror, they're in the bathroom, and then Sue takes Elizabeth. First, she like takes her head, which by the way was so funny because she like couldn't grab her hair,
Yeah,
so it was just kind of like you're grabbing a bald head, like
yeah,
So she grabs her head, and she's holding her in front of a mirror first to be like, look at yourself,
yeah.
and then she goes,
Like there's a full moment of like it's not a moment of hesitation.
no, it's just like, look at you,
so right.
look at yourself, and then she smashes her head in, and then she smashes it again, and then she pulls back, and then in the last breath of desperation, I can't, and this wasn't even a moment. Okay, here's my train of thought here. She could have been, please, she could have been like begging for her life, being like, this hurts me physically,
Yeah.
stop. She, with the utmost understanding in her voice, said,
Don't.
"Oh, don't. Oh, don't. Like, I understand why you're doing this. It's
Don't.
makes sense, but
Don't.
please, like, oh,
Don't.
don't. Oh, don't."
Don't. The thing is, in movies, dropped her microphone, ladies and gentlemen. She is not mentally well. The thing with movies that they never do, they never insert cries for help in somebody
Realistically,
getting beaten up
yeah,
scene because that makes it too real
yeah,
and you will get too uncomfortable.
yeah.
And you know,
Here we are.
Substance does like to push that line.
It perfect, perfectly executed, perfectly written, and it's one word. Give them everything. Give them a Grammy.
It's like a Nobel Peace Prize.
Exactly. Oh God, I'm not good.
It's not good, sis. And the balance needs to be respected. Then respect it.
I don't know.
And what and then you go and you're like, what a like deep look at feminism and at femininity
Yeah.
and growing old, and then it's just some guy going like, pretty girls always
Smile. And she's like,
It's that scene for me.
oh.
Give me any scene of somebody forcibly smiling. So it's I Tanya
Mm-hmm.
and that where it's like,
And
smile,
Cassie in the mirror.
I smile. Okay, that scene in the mirror. Okay, let's talk about this. So in the beginning of the movie, there's a nice little gentleman,
Mhm.
and he sees her, and she's already being a bit
Insecure.
insecure about her body, and he's like, "You're still the most beautiful girl in the world." It's just a beaming smile, and he is like, at first you are a bit creeped out by him, but later, like,
Yeah.
she.
No,
It's-
because I don't think she was like scared of him either. I don't think like they
it was
didn't
just-
show it
I
as
think
that.
it was like a shock. You know?
Yeah. And
Just awkwardness.
yeah, being like, hi. And it's like, we went together in like
we went to
10th
school
grade.
together. You're still.
They're
What
still
a
the most
career, you know.
Yeah.
And that we're both gonna cry over this. It's
not-
funny. It's funny.
We always find it though. Like whenever it's a movie about something else, we'll pick a thing that has nothing to do with it and be like, but this part.
No, because I'm telling you, what hits me. I got hit from the hospital because he goes like, "Oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday," and
Yeah.
she's just like, if there's anything that hurts me, it's like an attempt of empathy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a story right now, and it's gonna be hard for me to tell it. It's not a real life thing.
Okay.
It's a video game called Corpse Party, and in
Mhm.
the first one, it's gauche. It's it's
Yeah.
not it's so in the first one they do this friendship curse, like they're trying to like do a friendship spell
Mhm.
thing, but it gets fucked, and
Yeah.
then they get transported to the school, and blah 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 blah. There's the girl who has her best friend. Her best friend is kind of a lesbian, is kind of in love with her. She in the school hangs herself, but then
Mhm.
it's like it was like a weird thing of like actually she hung her, but the ghost knows whatever.
Yeah.
The point is they get out of the school and the people who died in the school are forgotten in the world.
Mhm.
So it's just like she was like, my friend Naomi died.
Who's my own?
Who yeah.
Who are you talking?
And then her mom, it's oh my god, it's the start of the second game. I'm gonna cry so hard because it's I cannot handle a deep attempt at empathy
Mhm.
not being taken.
Yeah.
And like, but like, if somebody's a bitch, I'm like, okay, you're a bitch. That I'm just you're a hurting, but it's like you are hurting so much
Yeah.
that you cannot accept this empathy.
Yeah.
It's her mom walking up to her room and she's being like, hey, like how are you? And then she's like, you know, I was walking home today and I was greeted by the cutest pair of eyes, and I know that you wanted a cat for so long, and I didn't let you, but now I think like we could do it. And she's just dead silent, and I'm just like
Hug that woman. Love.
being like I'm getting over my thing
Yeah.
for cat to like
Help you.
get a reaction from my
Yeah.
daughter. I'm literally teary eyed. It's and then it's the same with that. It's like a lesser level, literally tears coming. It's to a lesser level than that, but that attacks me to a point to no end because I've had moments of just anger and sadness getting over me and people trying to help, and then I
Yeah.
feel worse when
Yeah.
they can't. And so the doctor going like, "It's your birthday, happy birthday," and she's
Yeah.
like holding back tears, being like,
Yeah.
"I hate myself."
Yeah.
And then it's the okay. Let's get into the scene.
Let's get
Let's
into.
let's make
We're
John
already
cry more.
crying. We're
You know.
crying.
So no, because first of all, we're not crying over Sue over Elizabeth because we don't we there's an understanding.
Yeah.
There's like a oh, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
It's not a this isn't like some foreign thing and I
Yeah.
cry because I feel like it's much easier to cry to be like I
Not.
understand this,
It's
but
not
it's
me.
not
Yeah.
something that happened to me. So she calls him and she's like, "Hey, it's Elizabeth," and there's silence on the phone,
Yeah.
and
And he's like, she's like, "Are you here?" And then
I'm just in shock.
I'm just.
I thought you wouldn't
I would. No,
call
because
me.
when they met each other, he was like, "Hey, here's my number if you want to like ever get together or whatever." And she completely forgot about it till she switched first time and then the second time, and then when she was back to herself, she was like, "Hey, maybe I can try to have fun being me."
Yeah, and that's when her fingers started going
Yeah, and she's like, "Hey,
because the balance got interrupted for the first time,
yeah,
and she's trying to be happy with her life.
yeah," to be
And
like, maybe I can make something. I
yeah,
can go out and have fun being me, not like Sue. And then she calls him, and then he's so like, "I can't believe you called. Like, I'm in shock."
I'm so in
I'm
shock.
like,
And
oh,
then she's talking. She's like, "I thought we could get a drink."
yeah,
Once again, silence.
yeah. He's like, "Are you there?"
Are you there? And he's like, "I'm just in shock again. I can book Luigi's at 8."
Yeah,
And she put on her microphone. Why are we doing this to ourselves? This is gonna be the worst podcast episode ever. Um, so she she's like, okay, and she gets ready, and she's Demi Moore. She looks beautiful, and that you also feel sad because like, but you also like, doesn't it make you think a little bit about how you see yourself?
yeah,
Being like, we're yelling at Demi Moore, thinking she's Dora the Explorer and she's gonna hear us. So that's so, what I would give to look like you. What I would give. And then she keeps, and it's so because she's like, okay, I got ready. Okay, I can go out. And then she sees there's a huge poster of Sue
yeah.
in front of her house.
And then
And then she sees
the
her.
reflection on the doorknob.
No. But first she sees her neckline
Hmm.
and her like cleavage. and then she goes and puts like a scarf over it, and then
Yeah.
she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go out," and then she grabs the doorknob,
But then
and
like
she
it's
sees like,
perfectly like positioned, so she's seeing the poster behind
and
her
the
of
poster's
Sue
looking right at her.
at her, and then she looks at the doorknob and she sees a reflection of herself, and it's a very like
It's yeah, the
the
doorknob.
reflection
Yeah,
of looking down and just seeing droop, and
yeah,
so she's looking at that, being like, oh, and then she runs back to the bathroom and
and
she's
it's the
just
scene that we all
yeah
talk about, and we all so it because body dysmorphia and body problems are often showed very like tame and demure
yeah
in Hollywood. It's very like, I don't like how I look. There's one tear going down my like,
yeah
and as I'm looking in the mirror, she's like violently wipes off
yeah
her makeup and then just starts clawing at her face. She starts clawing at her eyes. A little bit of blood comes out. It is such a guttural scene,
yeah
and then it's just her sitting, what like looking outside the window, like she's given up.
yeah.
She's
She can't do it, and it's like
there's no way of living this life now. And then it's just the messages of him. And he's like, "Hey, are you running late?" And then we're both like, "Oh, poor him." And then it's like, "I know a star like you likes to make an entrance with like a smiley face."
I okay.
You said I said we.
We
Can we just talk about my empathy here?
I, the fact that this movie you would expect it to be shown like because they made the first guy very cartoonishly evil,
Yeah,
misogynist. You would
there's a
expect
lot
it to
of
be
men who are just
yeah.
the worst,
You
the
would expect
bits.
it to be shown like if you get stood up as a guy, you're very like, well, fuck you, you're ugly
Yeah,
anyway. I was
because that would
expecting that reaction.
and that would be so easy to digest.
Yeah, that would be so like, yeah, no shit, he would say that. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
let's move
oh,
on.
okay, like the all
The
men suck.
fact that he was so, like, I know a star like you likes to make an entrance, and then the message after that was, "Are you
Are you
okay?"
okay?
And that was it. Not for a
Yeah,
second was he. And then like I know, like he went home being like,
he didn't. He
"I'm
didn't
a
go.
fool for thinking he would.
He
She
didn't.
would."
He didn't go home being like, "Oh, she's a bitch." Probably like that.
Yeah,
That's what we get from his character. It's
yeah,
like 3 seconds of him,
just
but
being
like
like,
I bet people would go like, "Oh, do you remember Elizabeth?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, she went to yeah. There was a thing, but I think something happened." Like
yeah,
I feel like he would like
firmly still be like,
be like, "Oh, I think there was like a problem."
yeah,
Like she.
or just be like, yeah, who I'm a fool to think
Yeah,
that she
I'm a
would.
fool to think, and it's. I mean, writing. Like
Writing,
you get so much of a character, and he
yeah,
is. It's one phone call, four texts,
yeah,
and
one
2 minutes
interaction,
on scene.
yeah,
It's
and it makes you feel so bad, and it's also not being
you
like,
understand anymore. You're not being like
yeah,
she's a bitch.
yeah,
You are being like, I get
I
this.
get her
I
and I
understand
understand.
this. Personally, like I would muster up the strength to be like, I feel horrible,
Yeah,
and I don't, and it's
yeah.
maybe we can do another date, and you can come. I feel so like I would.
I feel ugly.
That's the thing that I don't do that because I'm so like, yeah, I feel ugly.
Yeah,
I feel horrendous,
I can't do this right now.
and
No, and
and
the thing with her too is
but
like
it's
she would
like,
never admit it.
yeah, she would never admit it. I get her character with that.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I get. I'm not calling her a bitch.
yeah,
I'm being like, I get it so much. I
yeah.
understand what you're going through, and him being like, just like,
I know a star like you.
I know it's like he likes to make it. The person who wrote that line,
Fuck you. First of all,
first of all, fuck you. Second of all, do you want all my money? Do you? Can you make another movie?
write my eulogy.
I
Oh,
would love if it was like somebody like a janitor being like, "Oh, you know what you could do," and
they
then
did that on Seinfeld. It's so funny. The guy from Breaking Bad, the main guy, he
yeah,
did a guest star episode on Seinfeld, and he was supposed to play this like just a dentist, and it was
yeah,
not even supposed to be like a funny scene or anything.
yeah,
He was just there, and then the light fixture guy, I don't
yeah.
know, was standing, and they were doing the props and they were setting it up, everything, and then the light guy was like, "Hey, you know what'd be really funny if you took the gas mask and before putting it on him, you did like on yourself, and then went on
And that
him."
created his whole character.
It like blew up. It was one of the best, like it's in the like best jokes in Seinfeld,
Yeah,
which it would be because that show is really not funny at all. But it was
I
God being
watched
like, that
that
would be
episode like
hilarious.
Soup Nazi. Like that's considered
The
the
funniest.
Seinfeld episode, and I was watching the
I
whole
hate
time
that
like
man.
so straight faced.
If there's anybody in this world, I wish nothing but the worst. And not even in like a I wish you death way. I wish everything just goes slightly wrong throughout your whole life.
You wish
I
that.
want like stub your toe every time you get up. Like just random little things like step on a puddle, like just
Wet socks.
wet socks all the time. Like I don't know, I just really hate them.
Okay.
Anyway.
No, so it's. I feel like for me that was the moment I gave up on the movie, being like, there's no highs here anymore.
There's nothing left. Like and
There's no going uphill anymore. There's no like. There's not going to be a moment of happiness until ladies and so
incoming.
so do you know in hell when you enter hell it says all ye who have hope give it up. That was my like he said um I know a star like you likes to make an entrance, and that smiley face looked me dead in the eye, and he
It's
said,
like
"You who have faith, give it up." And I was like, "Okay, there's not going to be a moment where I'm going to be happy for any of these characters. All of these characters are miserable, and that's the movie I'm."
That's what it is.
And I get it, and I'm heartbroken. And then the New Year's thing is supposed to happen. The original one is killed, so this one starts disintegrating. So she tries to activate herself again, and out comes Monster elisasue.
Monster elisasue is a beautiful woman.
She is, and I am not being funny, like so beautiful. She
This
is
is a beacon.
of hope,
Hope, of love, of
of
care,
what we can be,
of
what we should be,
of
of what we should strive to be,
self love, perseverance,
of
self care,
of ending of therapy.
of peace in the world.
Peace.
Peace in the world. Hell.
She and I'm gonna keeps going like, oh, that's when a beauty is great. Like that's when I kept being like, what? And then it's she puts hey, and she puts on a mask of Elizabeth. That was my favorite. She doesn't put on a mask of Sue.
Yeah, she puts
She
on a
puts on a
mask
mask of Elizabeth and puts like makeup on the mask.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "We love you, we love you. You should be here forever." I mean,
You're
that probably was a
irreplaceable.
fantasy. But then she comes out on the scene, and people are like, "It's a month," because she looked,
I mean, it's a monster.
it
Like
is like it's an
it's a
amalgamation
huge
of
tumor. Like
yeah, amalgamation of just body parts at
yeah,
random moments. It's I mean the fucking costume designer,
brilliant.
and
Can we
then
just talk
people.
about the hair for a second? She has two strands of hair.
Do you want to talk about
I
that?
want her to. There are two strands of hair, and then she's in the mirror. And first, she's putting on her little earrings, and so she's finding
By
which
the way,
ear.
she's putting on the earrings. There's no lobe.
There's no lobe, so
She's
she just
taking and just stabs herself
yeah.
with an earring.
And then she's looking at herself in the mirror like, ooh.
And then she like does a little clink clink
Clink,
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 like,
clink, and she's
oh, look at
such
these
a pretty
earrings.
girl. And then two strands of hair, and she's
You
curling
said you quoted American Horror Story and said you're never gonna be a pretty girl, and I slapped you.
it. Yeah, you did.
I decked you in the face. I broke your nose.
Yeah. And then she takes the two strands of hair and she's curling it, and it just disintegrates and like falls out. I don't know. That
She
was
goes
just
like,
so
"Oh,
relatable
well."
to me. Yeah, that was just my like that
You know what
part.
I loved about that scene, watching it with you, that the horrendous other scene that we cried through. She did the like two strands of hair in front of her face to make it look skinnier, and she's doing that. And I was like, oh, she should take those two strands of hair, make her face look better. And then she comes out and people are like, monster, monster, and she just goes like,
There's a random child there in the audience for some reason.
just women with their tits out.
Yeah, like
Anyway, so they're like, monster, monster, and she goes like, guys,
it's me.
it's me. It's
I'm
Elizabeth.
Sue.
It's Sue.
It's and like the way she talks to is very like Elizabeth. I'm
I'm
Sue.
Sue.
And then people start attacking her, and there's just blood everywhere, and then she goes,
And then
oh boob.
they cut off her arm, and it just it's. I think that's my favorite shot. It's just a camera of spraying blood.
Yeah, like think like hose, like spray. But
This movie is not art housey. It's not.
no,
I mean, it is deep, but it's not deep.
yeah,
It's not slow. It's not.
yeah, it's not being like what does the blood represent? It represents blood. Like
You know,
there,
it's
but it's the boob falling out.
out of like a mouth that is on her body.
Yeah, a mouth, and there's just like it starts expanding, and then it just goes bloop, and there's a boob, and it fell. The fact that it had the fucking strands, the what are they called? Ma- m-
Look at you going to medical school.
I, it's M something.
Okay. Mariolas.
Oh, fuck off. Anyway, where the milk goes. So it falls out with it attached, and it's just a full boob, and you're just looking at it being like, which honestly, it is kind of a thing of like, yeah, a boob is just a boob. Like, think of a boob alone.
I'm
Gross.
free to nipple, but I'm very like
I don't think it should be sexualized, is my thing.
boobs shouldn't be sexualized. Women shouldn't have to wear bras on a beach,
Yeah.
or if they don't want to wear a bra, they should not wear a bra. But my thing is, one time my sister just wore like a kimono in front of me, just in her like the down part of her underwear. I was like, maybe I'm not as liberal as I thought.
Maybe get away from me.
Because it's so
Yeah.
in your mind. Because you don't see it a lot.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
a
when
very
you're-
like
and
if
then
it
when
was a
you're
casual.
gay man who's used to not seeing it,
Yeah.
it's like, or you're used to seeing like perfect boobs,
Yeah.
and it's like huge boobs, but that they have like little boob nipples. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because big boobs have
I have little
big-
boobs with
big boob nipples.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
And you know what they would say if they could see you, if they could talk to you, they'd say, "It's me. I'm Elizabeth. I'm Sue." No, weirdly, like yeah, that was the best version of herself.
Yeah, because she, for the first time, just liked herself.
Yeah.
This is so sad. But it kind of is to a point of. What's that comedian's name? Old woman comedian.
Old woman comedian.
Joan Rivers.
Okay.
I feel like the whole movie is just a story about Joan Rivers.
Oh,
you get to a point of where plastic surgery makes you look like the monster.
Yeah, but we had a hint of who it's actually about. Jessica Lange.
Oh yeah, because
like won an
she
Oscar
didn't do
for King Kong.
Yeah.
No. But it's when Elizabeth at the beginning is more natural.
Yeah.
It's like I don't care if she won a fucking Oscar
Oscar,
for
yeah.
King Kong.
Which I'm just like, okay, I know that Jessica Lange is a bit too much even for my taste of older, because it's 80 probably. Still what?
I don't have a limit. It's about looks. It's genuinely just about looks for me.
Yeah.
I don't.
No,
Have,
no, I know, but I'm
I
saying like
do not have an age limit.
if you
Jessica
saw a
Lange.
90-year-old man, you would think, oh,
if
that's a
he looks
90-year-old.
if he looks like a male version of Jessica Lange,
Yes.
then I would be like, I don't,
Yeah.
license card.
But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. What?
Jessica Lange.
Just a little bit before.
She's
Oh,
like-
the
like-
whole like idea of plastic surgery. You get to a point where it's just like
and
Donatella Versace. Like what? Like you get to a point where it doesn't look real, doesn't look human anymore, and you are. But it's also not your fault. Like it's such a like in-depth thing because once you start, you can't stop, and if you stop, then you're reverting back, and it's like you have to get more and more.
But
and
what
more.
if you're Walter Mercado?
Hmm.
You know about Walter
No.
Mercado? He's like
Is it like
a televangelist.
Oh no! Oh yes, I do know. He's a very like.
And then they went like, "Do you do Botox?" And he was like, "Do you do any plastic surgery?" And he was like, "Just a special Botox, like Nicole Kidman." Here. Like the rest of his face is like normal, it's like, but just a special Botox, like Nicole Kidman here.
Yeah.
And then they go like, "Are you gay?" And he go like, "I have sex with nature. I have sex with the trees, with the life, with the." And then Trixie goes like, "What a way to say it." Are you gay, girl? I love the nature.
Frog in the pond.
Trixie Mattel like she came out to her mom being like, and then her mom was like, "Girl."
What my favorite coming out was.
I love that guy who goes like, "Mom, I want to tell you something."
And she's like, "Is it
Is it something about your personality?
Yeah, and then
And
he's
like,
like, yes.
"Ah."
Are
And
you
she's like,
gay?
is it about your sexuality?
Are you
And
gay?
she's
He's
like,
like, yeah. And she's like, it's okay.
that's how you come out.
Yeah.
Is it something about your personality? Is it something about your sexuality? Is it? Are you gay? She's like, it's okay. I love you anyways.
Yeah, that was the most beautiful like reaction you could
And
have to
also, it was back when there wasn't a billion coming out videos
yeah, it
on
was
the
a very
internet.
like 2000s video, like old,
Yeah. And it feels, real and natural. And I love that as a coming out. My favorite coming out video is in Love Simon, where they have to come out as straight. God, what a fun movie. Um, my personal experience with The Substance. I was watching The Substance, and I was like, I am enjoying this as me myself. Yes, I am. The whole time I was watching, I was just like, it makes so much sense why Katya loves you. I was like, every single second of the movie is made for her.
Made for her could be played by her.
It could be played by her, like
Every
every character, every character.
As I said, except for the nice guy. I don't think she could play that. Other than that, every single
Oh, I
person.
love that scene where that neighbor is like banging
Yeah.
on the door, and then she opens. And I personally, if, as a director, I would make one difference.
Hmm.
I would have Sue the whole time talk about like, what?
You
I just,
wanna complain or
you
something?
wanna? I heard you complain. I mean, she did it perfectly. I'm
Yeah.
joking. She goes, like, I'm Sue,
Yeah.
and her like hand movements
Yeah,
are
very like
so like it's so artificial.
yeah.
It's so like she does this like the way Elizabeth Sparkle blows the kiss. She's like,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then her going like her hands are being dainty. She
Yeah.
looks like a ballerina the whole way through the movie. I mean, you see it and you're just like, what a beauty. It comes to a point of like, you do think that Sue is a bitch because Sue is the worst part of Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But then when she smiles very humanly, but
Yeah.
like there's something fake behind it. But she is so pretty that you go like, oh,
Yeah.
like look at her
Look
smiling.
at her smile.
Look at her smiling,
Darling.
little darling little girl. What would she wouldn't.
She wouldn't do that.
She wouldn't kill her the
Kill
good
herself.
part of herself on the mirror. Um.
Oh, don't.
Oh, don't. There's an Elvis Presley song called "Don't." It's kind of like it's kind of rapey, but like
No, Elvis. I don't
but
get it.
it's a nice song.
I don't.
Weirdly, like it's like
Okay.
just like don't say don't like being like.
Uh, but yeah, but that could be very like, please love me. That
But I'm
kind.
saying, I feel like people nowadays.
Yeah.
But then Zoe Kravitz and Big Little Lies sang it, and the crowd went nuts.
Yeah.
And then fucking, we gotta rewatch Big Little Lies, and
We
then
got it because new one.
yeah, and then fucking the husband of what's her face? We love her, Legally Blonde.
The husband of
Legally Blonde.
oh my
Elle
god.
Woods.
Hell of Elwoods.
He sings That's the Wonder of You.
Yeah.
And he's like, when no one else can understand me. What a good show.
It's a good show. I like the second season too.
I'm not that huge on it. My thing is, I'm gonna keep trying to be like, John, Desperate Housewives is just like Big Little Lies.
No,
And I'm
it's
like,
not.
where's like with Desperate Housewives? Where's the decorum? Where's the
No, Desperate Housewives is Sex in the City.
yeah?
It's
Desperate
that. Like
Housewives
don't
is
like
it's beneath Sex in the City. It's a
okay.
telenovela.
Yeah,
It's like
it's but it's it's fun to watch. I'm not knocking it, but like very like no Big Little Lies is a very like
because I'm gonna go like you are being posh and uppity, being like, I don't want to watch Desperate Housewives, and I'm like, I am, and she's like, but I don't get it. It's just like Big Little Lies to me, and I'm like, you cannot look at those two and be like they're the same. By the way, I was like, my mom can't watch that movie because it's so disgusting, and she's like, my mother's friend was so like, but it's not disgusting, and it's like you can't
don't lie
watch
to the
that
woman.
movie.
Don't
And
don't lie.
she's like, it just makes you think about like women, what women do to themselves.
If you want
Oh
to do that, watch Barbie.
yeah, and my mom was just like, no, it's just that
Did you
the
watch
second.
Barbie?
I'm not yet. She was like, I just don't want to hear about that theme right now,
Yeah.
and also the visual. I was like, I told her a few of the scenes,
Yeah, I
and
feel like
she said
good
don't.
enough. She's like, oh, don't. Oh,
And then I
don't.
went like, oh mom, let me just say one more scene, please. So the movie stars are making the star.
Oh,
It's a great movie, and I it's one of those rare movies where I had very 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 high expectations and they were met
yeah,
and succeeded because once I like I said it's also I told you Selma, not every feminist movie
it's Barbie.
is Barbie because you were like it's like Barbie.
Like gross.
Yeah, so like so my science teacher got cancer. Breaking Bad. It's Breaking Bad, guys. It's Breaking Bad, guys. Breaking Bad. Um, but the thing that I can compare it to Barbie is that there is a deep underlying. Here, it's much more disturbing. Like
Yeah.
there's a serious message,
Yeah.
but then there's whimsy.
There's
There,
whimsicals.
there there's we all chipped in to do something while to keep you busy. It, that guy, he should have been played by Katya. I'm like,
Definitely.
he definitely should have just put a bad toupee on him, and he would have like
No, but I
Brian
can
McCook
see
could have.
Katya as Elizabeth. I can see Katya as Sue.
I can see it in like a parody version, sure.
Oh, yeah, but I can see like Katya being like, "Oh, I'm a disgusting old woman."
Yeah. No, I can,
Like,
but I can see it.
"No, I'm hot," and then going like grossly eating shrimp. Like I can just see every person in the movie.
But where did you see yourself most in the movie?
Where did I see myself most in the movie? I I know it's about Elizabeth, no?
No. But like, which scene where you're like,
Oh, me.
I have felt that happen? Because I keep
The
joking about the cooking scene, but
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
not that much. For me, I mean, they had a moment of her having like an eating disorder, and I was like,
I
you
think
know,
it's the curling of the hair. It's a very like just that act in itself being so like I'm trying to salvage whatever I
yeah,
can. But
everybody had the guttural reaction to her smearing her
yeah, that's
makeup
like a
off
very like
herself.
yeah, everyone has done that.
But it's so like I said, body dysmorphia and body uncomfortableness was always shown as like, oh, I'm sad. But here it's like, I hate myself. But I personally never had that happen, mostly because the way I do my hair is
Do-do-do.
wild,
Yeah.
you know. So it's for me, it's like I have beautiful like wobbed hair, and then I go like, now I look good.
Yeah.
um, I because I don't have huge problems with body positivity and aging. I have some like recently with like getting more fat and some comments from random
Said family
from
member.
said family members and sometimes from like random grinder people. But with random grinder people is that I'm trying to be funny because like you can't really see that I'm fat on my profile, but not in a way where I'm like lying to them. It's just
Yeah,
you
it's
know
just
I feel like they're. It's like I get that I'm not everybody's type because not everybody wants just like a nerd guy. Because when you see me, you go nerd.
yeah.
Like it is. That's how you see me, and that I
Yeah.
completely get, and I completely get that not everybody wants to hear the explanation of why Batman is the modern day, why the writers of Batman are the modern day Shakespeare. I get that, but like, but I don't have those. Like, I don't look at myself in the mirror. I just, I'm more of a, I'm just sitting
Mm-hmm.
and eating, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, but I was like, I have people who have had that. I understand her journey, and it is a hard journey to go through,
Yeah.
and it's a perfect movie. It really
It really
is.
is. And
It
I haven't seen the movie in a while that was that like because again, it hit every spot in me.
yeah.
Everything.
For me,
Sadness, funny, gross,
yeah,
scary. Like it just was
yeah, because I recently like with watching Perfect Blue, I was like, oh my god, I miss serious movies. And it's like, yes, you had this message, but you still weren't a serious movie, and
yeah,
that's what I appreciated about you.
yeah.
And oh god, it's and the music, it's very like challengers, but in a good way. 'Cause I really didn't like challengers. I was terrified that I won't like the substance. Because whenever Amado loves a movie, I'm just like, it's not my thing. Sorry. And Amado has a hard time watching movies, and it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it
Yeah,
passes like
goes by.
nothing.
Because it keeps you going, and it's a very it's high paced. It's
Yeah.
very like
There's like this
that's
movie feels like 20 minutes, and Perfect Blue feels like 4 hours because of like at the edge of your seat.
yeah.
Not like it's slow. You're just like like every breath you take, every move you make.
I'll be watching it.
Every breath you take is like feels like an eternity
Yeah.
when you're watching Perfect Blue. But here, it feels like you're being like the whole time. It's just let's go.
So,
I did love it. Who's your mother of the week? And I'm allowing you to talk about those people if you want to.
what people? No, you can keep that.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know much about them. That's my
I
problem.
don't know either. I just know it's New Zealand, and I know it's like a big
Okay, but let's
population of
talk
New
to you.
Zealand.
You talk your first.
Okay. Who? You go.
You don't know?
I
I was
don't
like, do it because I can think of somebody.
know.
So no, in New Zealand, like they're the native people to New Zealand who, like in most countries, like the nativity scene is not the best.
Yeah.
And they were passing, oh, they were trying to pass some law that goes against the native people of New Zealand. It's very dumb. Like I'm not explaining
Thumb
it,
down. Yeah.
but they have this. I think it's called Hakate. Once
Yeah.
again, I'm being weird, but they have
So
this.
Hakata, I think it just means dance.
Yeah,
Like,
it like it's a tradition that this is what they do. This is like their and it's just I don't know much about it. I didn't read up on it. I'm just saying seeing a traditional thing of like we are throwing this away and
yeah,
in
and
a
being
political setting, like
yeah,
in a
it's
like
very powerful.
it's so powerful and
You
you feel
weirdly feel
proud of those people. You
yeah,
feel like a part of them. You
yeah,
feel understanding if you of course are human.
human.
There's one white guy who's just like and then somebody put like, didn't my ancestors kill all of you? And you and everybody, like all of like
Yeah.
the room is filled with like the native people of New Zealand, and they were just all so proudfully singing.
And what I like about New Zealand too, I saw a lot of videos before it all happened of people like I don't know, before a football game or something, their team will do it. They'll do the dance. They'll in a very like respectful way, not in like a I'm 1%
I'm 1% Cherokee. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, in a very like, hey, this
There's
is
a
just like
scene in Glee where he goes like, "I cannot be racist to you because I'm 49, 49, 149th of a Cherokee
yeah.
Indian."
But yeah, it was a very beautiful and a very like I was watching that being so like
My
I
heart was
felt
so
like
full.
beating
Yeah.
and I was so like I'm part of it. Like it just felt
I
like a
feel like
grand
yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah. If I moved to Germany
Yeah.
and they were all passing like an anti-Bosnian law,
Uh-huh. I'm
I'd
just
be
gonna
like,
call it's just gonna
I'd be ripping up that paper, going like, "Zapiewaj dusza, bez musztobi swarabo." I feel like that's
yeah, that's hilarious.
that's a Bosnian, but it's you feel so instantly like I don't understand how you cannot be on their side. And the thing is, on the internet, I didn't see anybody be against them.
Yeah.
But then Twitter people were like, white people calling this cringe.
I
And I'm like,
hate that.
find me a comment.
Find me a comment. I was actually gonna talk about that and I completely forgot. Thank you for my like a while ago. But okay, so many videos. I'll scroll down, I don't know, like a TikTok or something, and it's gonna be a chubby fat girl or something dancing, right?
Yeah.
And I open up the comments, and it's filled with people going like, "What's wrong with you guys? She's beautiful. Why are you
60,000 comments defending her.
But
Maybe
nobody,
like half of a comment.
nobody. That's the thing. And I'm scrolling. Nobody said anything about anything, and
Yeah.
people just keep being like, "Oh, why are you calling her fat?" Nobody did.
Nobody
You're
did.
bringing that to attention
Yeah.
because that's
Also-
the first thing you thought about,
Also,
and you want to be a little
also
warrior
she
about it.
is fat.
She's dancing. Leave her alone.
She is
Like-
fat. She's like, why is that negative?
Yeah, why is that a bad thing?
She-
Anyway,
she can
I
accept.
hate that. I
No,
hate it.
it's like when the Joker Folie à Deux came out and people were hating on it, and then people were like, everybody's saying that it's sex because of Lady Gaga, and it's like
No.
3 people on the internet said that.
Yeah.
You just assumed what the reaction would be,
Exactly,
and
and
you
you're running
hate that
with
the
it.
world isn't like that. The world is getting progressive.
Yeah, and you're not, obviously, because that's the first thing you're thinking about.
Yeah, no, because you want to be this hateful little person.
Yeah, but give me credit because I'm defending a fat girl.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah,
Like,
no,
kill
it's the
yourself.
worst.
Anyway, okay, I want to get like serious, but it's a weird transition after all of this to do.
Is it your mother's friend?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
it's not
I'm uncomfortable with true
too,
human emotions.
because it's
And it's a
weird.
thing. Like I'm also having somebody with a health problem in my life, and
Yeah.
I can't talk about it here.
Yeah.
I fully can't. So kudos.
Kudos.
Go ahead. I'm trying my best to not be uncomfortably like ha ha ha. Ooh.
No,
So
here's the
anyways,
thing.
yeah.
She is sick, and it's so it was supposed to be like a uterus type thing, and I hate it so much because the
Because the
same thing
uterus.
happened with my grandma, and I
Okay.
want to like to this day I feel guilty about it, but I know that in this situation it's not my place. The thing is, it went into her bones.
Oh. Jesus.
So then it's not even like a thing of
Yeah,
removing it
yeah,
or
we can remove it. Like,
they don't want to tell her.
oh Jesus.
Like her mother, her family doesn't want to tell her.
No, no,
They
no.
did the same shit to my grandma. She was sick. They kept telling her,
Crazy.
"You feel it's your life.
It's
You
your,
should have the
and
autonomy
then
to
you're
do
like, oh, this hurts. I feel like this is getting worse. And then people are like,
that."
no.
Like it's not like you should have every right to know. It's your life. It's your body. Like it's you. And people are being like,
You sent her this podcast episode being like, listen to it through.
no, it's not okay. And it's a
Yeah, no,
thing of
it's
I know like I can't be like, hey, your mom told me not to tell you, but like, hey, you're gonna die. Like it's so intense. I hate it because I'm not that like I am close to her. We were friends like through my mom. Like we would all hang out together. My mom is not a regular mom. She's a cool mom. So I would drink with them. Like it was
yeah.
and so we would all sit together and I know her well and I know like it was so funny like we would when I went to visit her, like I showed up and like 25 other people showed up and it was a very like emotional moment for her because she didn't know how many people would come.
Yeah.
So it's just this huge like group of people and they're all there for her and then she starts crying and whatever. And I go and I hug her and I'm like and she's like yeah and I was like, oh, we broke up and she's like next. And she's like and every time she looks at me she's like next. But and like it's all of that and then there's also like somebody was like, hey, let's all take a picture and like whatever and she's like, oh, I look horrible, like don't. And then everyone around her is being to be like, no, look at me,
No.
I look. And I'm like, well, I don't know about all of y'all, but I look pretty. Just to be like, and it was a very like like cute moment. I love her so much.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, and it sucks because
And it sucks that you know that it isn't your place.
it's not my place and I know that and I don't want to be the person to do it, but I feel like it's something they did the same to my grandma. She died not knowing she was dying. And it's like you just you can't do that.
Did you make the person feel like a crazy person?
Not just that, like you should know.
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
your
because
life.
I bet they will feel pain. And then it's like, what are you gonna do? Just be like, no, you don't. You're
Yeah.
silly. It is. I've heard that that's like a common practice here.
Yeah, and
They
it's like don't
they
tell
waited
them.
a few days to tell like my mom about her issues, and it's common to be like, hey, we will tell your husband, and then your husband will decide what to do.
It's so fucking crazy to me because it's like if I was in that situation and I found out, I'm not talking to anybody. And I mean that. Like
Yeah,
if you were like you knew and you didn't tell me, I'm cutting you off instantly.
we're close enough for me to be like,
Hey,
hey, girl,
girly.
girly, your mom told me not to, but you know.
It's such a like.
I have a topic for next week's podcast.
Oh, and I love her, and I feel, and she's
You,
such a
I
vibrant
bet you
person.
feel powerless.
I feel powerless, and I feel like she is she's usually like I know her as the most like lively, vibrant person, and like just the sheer shock of even finding out that she has any issue like that,
Yeah.
and then for it to be that big, and for me to have to like see her and be like,
You're fine.
I know something you don't, like it's not
You're not
not normal.
And do you feel like she would want to know? Of course you do.
like, yeah, she would want to know, and it does bring up the question of like, is it better to not tell? But it's not. Like, I understand the perspective of it.
I'm sorry that I'm about to make a joke, but I should never know if I'm close to dying because the danger I would become to certain men, it's better not said.
Yeah.
It's better not noticed. They would be like, John, you have like you're dying in 2 days, and I would turn to them and I would be like, will my penis work?
Will my oh. So I just wanna like, I don't know what's gonna happen and how it's gonna go, but I do wanna like just have this like, she's my mother of the week.
Yeah, she like it's good to remember this, and it's okay to feel angry about that.
Yeah,
And I personally also wouldn't say it, but
yeah,
I would all feel the same way that you
yeah.
do
Because it's
because
so
it is in your place. It isn't like because like your mom would hate you.
yeah. If it was my mom and my dad was like, "Hey, don't tell her," I'd be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah,
I'm not that close to you,
yeah,
so that I can be like, "Hey, this is
yeah.
happening." But it's like
If it
it
was me, or
sucks.
like, and my mom told
Yeah,
you, you'd tell me.
yeah. But this is
If it
like,
was you, I would instantly tell you. My thing is that nobody should ever tell me anything.
yeah.
The other day was my like cousin's birthday, and I called him and I was like, "I got you a gift," and he was like, "Is it Lego?" And I was like, "Yes." Is it a buzzer thing? And I was like, "Do you know that car?" He was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Well, that." And he was like, "Fala." I no secrets here. Like my thing is, I feel like if you don't have personal secrets, nobody can use your secrets against you.
That's true. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna like tell somebody that I'm gay? Ooh, shiver me timbers.
Shiver me timbers.
I'll tell people what you're into.
Yeah. Never.
My favorite is like, do you think you have like one time a dude did threaten me being I mean, here like I have a gun and I'm not afraid of jail. And I go like and I have a friend who has access to my phone. And I have these and these videos and
Yeah.
pictures. And
So,
if your poor
and I
mother
wanna die. Do you want this out? I don't think so.
and if your poor mother wants to hear you call somebody else daddy after your father died a few years ago,
Well,
think about that. Which, by
for
the
a
way,
sec.
crazy mother. She fully goes like one of my friends ran into her and they're
Mhm.
like, and she died like her husband died of some illness, and she goes like, oh yeah, my son killed him.
Okay.
And why I chose to have sexual intercourse with that guy, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I like chasing the high
Mm,
of danger.
mm.
Mm.
Maybe go on a roller coaster.
No, not really close by.
Skydiving.
No, not really close by.
Mm.
I'd have to travel for it.
Just run in front of a car.
They remember me.
Yeah.
They
Can't
stop.
do that
They
anymore.
keep stopping in front of me. Tie myself to a moving train track. Wait for somebody to untie me. Train's still not here anymore. You know, I have to find ways to keep myself busy.
Yeah. Mm.
There's this movie where somebody sucked off like a loaded gun.
Mhm.
So,
On that note,
on that note, how long do we go? So it's half
there's
an hour plus. Okay, an hour and 70. So an hour and 47.
yeah.
The other day we were playing a Mario Party like a week ago, and then you were like, "I have 48 coins, and if I buy this with 25 coins," and the whole room went uh because literally everybody went like yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.